What it do? It's Crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to talk about some of the most satisfying losses in recent UFC history. So before I get into this, I'm going to be listing a couple of my personal favorites, but I don't want to hear comments down below. What about Tito Ortiz back in 1997? Bro, we ain't here to talk about the 90s, dude. We're here to talk about recent fights that everyone watching this video has actually watched. And I'm going to be covering my personal favorites, like I said. So let's get into this. I'm going to try to be unbiased. Obviously, I'm going to have a bit of my own opinions on this, but one that comes to mind immediately off the rip is Alexander Hernandez versus Cowboy Cerrone. I remember the fateful day in 2019 when the UFC started on ESPN and we had fucking Henry Cejudo. Listen, dude, I think TJ's going to have blonde hair, man. I think he's going to come in wearing gloves, dude. I really do, man. You know, we had Henry the Genius Cejudo versus TJ Dillashaw. Great finish to this card. We also had Greg Hardy. Remember when he was getting pushed as a prospect? But on that fateful fucking card, we also had Rachel Ostovich versus Paige Van Zandt. Don't ask me how I remember that so well. Alexander Hernandez was booked to fight Donald Cerrone. Coming down from 170, he was coming back to 155. A lot of people were picking Hernandez. He just KO'd Dariush. He was on a good run. He was talking that shit, dude. He was saying that Cowboy Cerrone looked old, and he did look like a walking, like, reanimated corpse. I'm not going to lie, dude. I was worried for Cowboy, but we got to see Hernandez get absolutely humbled by Donald Cowboy Cerrone with a nasty fucking head kick, some good elbows to follow up. It was a beautiful day. It was a great card. Those were the days, you know. Now we've got Shamil the Blab Gaziev headlining cards. But there was a time we were getting title fights and Hernandez getting fraud checked by Cowboy in front of a sold out crowd. Like, you couldn't, that's a pay-per-view card now in 2024, but streets are going to remember the day that Hernandez got fucking humbled by Cowboy Cerrone. That was a very satisfying loss to see. Let's move on to a more recent one. And listen, dude, I know I'm going to make a couple of nerds mad with this one. Israel Adesanya. I mean, pick your poison. You know, the Pereira loss was pretty satisfying. But I'm going to go with the Sean Strickland loss. I think that the loss to Sean Strickland was very satisfying because in the build-up, he was very dismissive of Sean Strickland. And this was the time that the dog news came out, that all this stuff came out about Izzy. And I just feel like the thing, people on my last video said, bro, it's obvious that you like Izzy, you're an Izzy fan. I'm not an Izzy fan. Like, I was an Izzy fan, but every time I kind of find myself rooting for him and I'm kind of like, you know what, I actually want to see Izzy bounce back. He opens his mouth. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm going to touch him up like a dog. Trust. I'm going to hit him till he crumbles like the Twin Tower. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just puts his shoe in his fucking mouth and makes me go, oh, that's why I wanted to see this guy lose. And I do remember being very happy when he lost to Sean Strickland. I remember dropping a video being like, I'm so fucking happy right now that this guy got absolutely schooled by Sean Strickland. It was just one of those ones that you kind of were rooting for Strickland, but you were also rooting against Israel Adesanya because a lot of these champions get the Dana White privilege, you get the preferential treatment, you get the sense that they're being put in fights where the UFC wants them to win. And the whole build-up with the dog video coming out, Sean Strickland, for you fucking guys, let's fucking go, dude. I'm more fucking Australian than Adesanya. It's like, yeah, obviously, dude. He's never... Anyways, good. I get what he was trying to do, right? The whole build-up and then the post-fight press conference. I mean, just chef's kiss, you know, Dana White getting on... what's the question? Yeah, we're gonna do the rematch next week in the Apex. Yeah. Israel Adesanya looked bone dry tonight. What are my thoughts on Strickland being the champ? What can you do? That's the sport sometimes. Sometimes the better guy doesn't always win. Like, Dana White was so fucking mad, dude. I loved it. So, yeah, Israel Adesanya losing to Strickland. That was a great fight week. That was a great fight, and I was very, very happy watching this man's downfall on that card. But that being said, he's bouncing back this weekend. We may see him, rise from the ashes like an eagle. You know what I'm saying? Part of the storyline, dude. Let's move on, though, to another more recent entry that, like, not a lot of people talk about this one, but I picked this to happen, and, you know, it was kind of a controversial pick at the time, but I knew it was going to happen. Joe Salty Man Pyfer, this guy checked into the salt mines. He was talking fucking crazy, dude. He got booked against Jack Hermanson in a fight night main event. People talk about Dagestani privilege. This guy beat GM3 and got a main event of a fight night against a top 10 middleweight, but regardless of that, he was like a 3-1 favorite against Hermanson. He was talking all this shit. I'm pretty sure this was the fight week where he called out Lucas Tracy, which is just hilarious. But then he proceeded to get completely outcrafted, completely vetted just absolutely schooled by the Joker, Jack Hermanson. And like I said, immediately after that, he clocked into the salt mines. We knew that we were witnessing a legendary downfall for the time being. I'm not going to say I was like celebrating his downfall, but it was nice to see him a bit humbled by that outcome, because you know that if he won, I'm pretty sure Dana White would have given this guy a fucking title shot if he beat Jack Hermanson, but he got outcrafted, he got outvetted, he got completely schooled. And it was a very humbling loss. And I was happy to see that because there was a lot of hype around Joe Pyfer. And that's one thing, like, I'm not going to shit on a hype train. It's just when you act super cocky in the build-up and you're talking shit and you're basically dismissing another guy in the division that you're about to fight, and, you know, you're super salty and just have I don't know, it's just his personality, dude. I'm just going to be real. It's just his personality. In fight week, he's so grumpy. Like, I know that you're cutting weight, like I've been there, dude, but at the same time, you don't have to get on media days and be like, what's the fucking question? Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm gonna fucking smoke this kid. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty good to see him get a little bit humbled. So, Joe Pyfer, of course, bounced back, went to the salt mines, you know, put some hard labor in. He came back, and we haven't heard the fucking end of it since. He knocked out Marc-Andre Barriot, but when he lost to Hermanson, we'll always have that. That was a good loss. Let's move on. Dude, this one is, I feel like I'm flexing my old head card a little bit. You know, this is going back a couple of years, and revisionist history will have people telling you they were sad about this outcome. But I was there, dude. I remember this day. I was watching this live. Kamaru Usman losing to Leon Edwards too. Don't switch up now. All of you guys, including me, was celebrating when Leon Edwards KO'd this guy. Be fucking real right now, dude. You celebrated. You cheered like Emperor Palpatine just got thrown in the fucking thing by Darth Vader, dude. You guys were there. You were celebrating like Thanos just got snapped by fucking Iron Man, dude. I remember being so happy, so elated that the division finally had a new champion, because I knew if he beat Leon Edwards, the division was cooked. We're never getting another champion. Usman's going to just retire as the GOAT. And, you know, obviously in hindsight, with the terrible reign of Leon Edwards, I wish that didn't happen, but I can't lie. At the time, this was like the biggest moment in the UFC. I remember the MMA guru.
Head kick KO! Oh my god! Oh my god, he put Usman out cold! Yes! Yes! Praise the Lord!
I remember walking home and life was just fucking sunshine and rainbows, dude. I was walking home from the pub, dude. I was living a great life. I think I went for a run. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, man, Usman's dead. Let's go, bro. But now, obviously, I miss my boy as the champion. I'm sorry, Kamaru. I shouldn't have celebrated your downfall. If I knew what was coming, I wouldn't have celebrated that downfall. But yeah, it is what it is, dude. Kamaru Usman's downfall. We did prey on it at the time. Be real. It was satisfying at the time. I'm going to put it on the list. Let's move on to one that we can unanimously agree on. The streets are never going to forget the day Giga Chikadze said Volk was ducking him and then got 50-45'd by fucking Calvin Kattar. That was a great fucking card, dude. I think that was the first fight night of 2022 when Chikadze fought Kattar in the Apex. It was just a great build-up because Chikadze was, you know, thinking he was the man. He beat Edson Barboza, right? I forgot who else he beat. Maybe Danny. No, he didn't even beat Danny. He beat some random fucking guy in the Apex and then he beat Barboza. And he was talking about Volkanovski's ducking him. And I think this was around the time where he maybe could have got a title shot, but they gave it to Korean Zombie on short notice. And he was talking crazy, bro. I fucking remember this guy thinking he was the GOAT. And then the legendary performance of Calvin Kattar with the elbows, with the fucking wrestling in the first round. It was a great beatdown. It was very satisfying to watch. I remember being very, very happy to see Giga Chikadze get schooled by Calvin Kattar. It was an entertaining fight too. I'm not going to lie. He had his moments. It was a great fight. I've always liked Giga Chikadze after that because he earned my respect. Like, he didn't quit. He didn't fold. He stood on business and took the ass whooping, and he fought back as much as he could. But yeah, this was a pretty satisfying loss because I remember at the time he was starting a lot of beef and he was talking a bit of shit. And this was a good one to watch. It was an entertaining fight too, which definitely helps. I've got two more left to talk about. One of them is probably the most unanimously celebrated loss this year. Like, definitely the most celebrated loss this year. And another one is just my personal favorite from this year. I'm not going to lie. But before I get to my personal favorite, Jamal Hill. Now listen, Jamal, don't drop a 20-minute video on me on Instagram Live. I don't need to see 5 different camera angles. If you take away this, if you look at the statistics, Bedtime MMA is nowhere near me on MMA YouTube. I have more subscribers than him. I get more views than him. I make more money than him. I will spar him right now. It's like, bro, doesn't take away the fact that you talked all that shit and you got slumped by Pereira, bro. I don't know a single fucking person except for one of my mates who was swearing the whole fight week that Hill was gonna beat Pereira, and I was like, all right, man, sure, bro. Right? I don't know, except for that, my one friend. I don't know any people on earth that weren't happy when Jamal Hill got hit with that left hook and his fucking eyes rolled back into his head and his tongue came out of his mouth. This Looney Tunes KO of Jamal Hill, where he was complaining he just sold it so well. You know, the whole fight week, he had the little Charmer doll. He was talking all that shit during the walkout. He went for the fist bump during the face-off, and Pereira didn't do it. That's when I knew he was fucked. When he went for a glove touch, and Pereira just no-sold it, so he pretended to, like, rub his chin. That's, like, minus 1,000 aura. But after that, like I said, I feel like we can all agree this was one of the best losses of the year. This was a real satisfying loss to watch. This was a real downfall to be happy about. Watching Jamal Hill talk all that shit and then get absolutely slumped by Alex Pereira in, like, 2 minutes flat. Still coping about it to this fucking day, which makes it even more entertaining. But yeah, I just had to throw this on here. This is like the penultimate downfall of the year that we were all happy to see. But the last one for me, like I said, this is a bit personal, man. This has been a rivalry that I've had with this fighter for a year and a half, like a very long time in my life. And I was a bit unsure. I didn't pull the trigger on predicting their downfall completely, but I'll tell you what, I did pull the trigger on celebrating this downfall completely. Leon Edwards, dude. Watching the downfall of Leon Edwards, this was better to me than watching Kamaru Usman's downfall. Because right after Usman lost, I was kind of like, damn, I actually liked Usman. Like, fuck, why was I celebrating? Leon Edwards, I feel no mercy for this motherfucker's downfall, dude. I was so happy seeing this guy who's held up the fucking division for 2 fucking years and generated all these glazing fans like Mario Rios. And all these guys in my comments,
Leon's like an AI, dude. Nobody's gonna beat him. He's gonna school Islam and Bilal.
It was so fucking good that they couldn't say shit after this guy got picked up and dunked by Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad. And the fact that he lost to Bilal makes it so much better for me. Because first of all, I'm a huge Bilal fan. But second of all, because this is what he deserved, bro. He changed up. He used to be Bilal. He used to be the old Kanye, bro. He switched up. He was Bilal Muhammad. Then he became Hollywood when he won the belt. He's holding up the division. He wins a fight with like 0 damage. Hey, Leon, just back here. When are you coming back in the fight? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Mate, I don't know. There's nobody in division. I might move up to light heavyweight, bro. Like, this guy's just chatting fucking nonsense constantly. Whereas Bilal Muhammad immediately wins the belt. Bro, I want to fight Shavkat. I want to fight JDM. I want to fight Usman. I'll fight all these guys. I'll beat them all in the striking, in the grappling, in the wrestling, you know. I want to be the greatest welterweight of all time. I'm better than GSP. Like, say what you want about Bilal Muhammad. He's going to make this division better. Already has, in my opinion. And he's going to be more active. And he's going to be an actual champion that wants to fight regularly and is calling out contenders to fight. Leon Edwards is talking about fighting Gilbert Burns after Bilal beat him. And people want this guy as the champion. Fuck off, dude. It was such a good loss. I was so satisfied. I was so happy seeing the loss of Leon Edwards from the championship division. Hopefully now that he's a contender, I can like him again. Because I did like Leon Edwards. Like I said, before he beat Usman, when he beat Usman, I was happy for the guy. But the way that he was as a champion, the activity level, and just the fucking constant bullshit this guy was chatting as a champion, talking about, I want to fight Gilbert Burns, and I'm going to fight Conor McGregor. Bro, fuck off, man. That's why this was one of the most satisfying losses, in my opinion. But let me know down below, guys. What was the most satisfying loss you have seen recently? Whose downfall were you preying on and you were happy about? And who do you want to see on this list in the future? I know for me, I can't wait to see the downfall of Ilia Topuria. I can't wait to see the downfall of Ian Machado Gary. You know, those are 2 that just come to mind instantly, but there's probably so many fighters out there that you guys want to see lose. Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, you know, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just preying on their downfall, like 2 completely, totally different things, mate, alright? But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, man. For the people wondering, my UFC 305 predictions, they are dropping tomorrow. My full card predictions, I know you've been waiting for them. I know you want to hear what I have to say. I'm dropping the predictions tomorrow. Same time as always. Full card, I got you. Subscribe if you're not already to see that. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. And I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.